A statement from the president, just out now. This is Donald J. Trump on Truth Social, and I'm quoting, "It is very important that the drug companies justify the success of their various COVID drugs. Many people think they are a miracle that saved millions of lives. Others disagree. With the CDC now being ripped apart over this question, I want the answer, and I want it now," in all caps. "I've been shown information from Pfizer and others that is extraordinary, but they never seem to show those results to the public. Why not? They go off the next hunt and let everyone rip themselves apart, including Bobby Kennedy Jr. and the CDC, trying to figure out the success or failure of the drug companies' COVID work. They show me great numbers and results, but they don't seem to be showing them to many others. And I want them to show them now to CDC and the public and clear up this mess one way or the other. I hope that Operation Warp Speed was brilliant, as many say it was. If not, we all want to know about it and why. Thank you for your attention to this very important matter, President DJT." What does that mean?
That is that's a total reversal from what I can't say it's a total reversal. I'm really I'm encouraged by those words, significantly encouraged. It's been a struggle with this whole Operation Warp Speed with what we know.
Yes. Being physicians practicing.
Being physicians practicing, but not all physicians practicing. We talked about this earlier, where a very small percentage of us actually, quote unquote, know. Okay.
Yes.
But to hear that coming from him, where he may actually be questioning the Operation Warp Speed numbers that were put behind him and that were given to him before, is a really, really interesting twist.
Pretty unbelievable that he has to send something like this out, considering that companies like Pfizer and Moderna and their executives are all billionaires because of federal tax dollars. So these are not really, they're publicly traded companies, but they're not in some kind of private sector business. They are government contractors. We're forced to take their products. We have no recourse if those products hurt us because they have full immunity. And so they're getting rich from our tax dollars, but we don't get to see the numbers. Maybe someone should go to jail right away.
What numbers is he seeing that he says have been really impressive numbers that we're not seeing?
Well, this Bourla, the veterinarian Bourla guy,
right?
Who I think is he's a vet, right?
He's a vet, correct.
Right. And you're a surgeon, but they try to put you in prison for the rest of your life. But Bourla is now a billionaire because he is involved in a scam where U.S. tax dollars go into his pocket, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
And if you complain about it, by the way,
then they shut you down and censor you and they try to arrest you, or they do arrest you.
So this Bourla creep, this ghoul has been showing up he's been at the White House a bunch, I think.
Right.
And he's been spinning.
Well, and Donald Trump has called him out saying, "Hey, this is my best friend," or not best friend, but this is a, really good friend of mine, Bourla, and, and kind of praised what they've done.
Yeah. How about I call you when my dog has puppies? Okay. What are you doing? What is this? Anyway, sorry. But Trump's position up until apparently this morning, as far as I know,
right,
has been Operation Warp Speed, which he
saved millions of lives.
Saved millions of lives. It was like Jonas Salk's polio vaccine, and so the last line in here is, it was brilliant, as many say it was. If not, we want to know what happened.
And that's like I said, that is the first time that I've heard him maybe somewhat question the effectiveness or, what actually was behind Operation Warp Speed. Operation Warp Speed was a DOD operation. It was run by a general, General Perna. And there's a lot of evidence out there, and Sasha Latipova and Catherine Watt and a lot of people have put out information that essentially the DOD is who developed these jabs, these COVID vaccines. And then they in turn asked Pfizer and Moderna to slap their label on it for money, and then distribute them, because it was a military operation in terms of this whole
What's the U.S. military doing in my healthcare? You probably heard about 8 Sleep. Lots of people are talking about it. It is a company with one mission: improving your sleep. And it's changing the way people do that, the way they get a good night's rest. We just got word that their team is launching a new product. It's called the Pod 5. It's an original and innovative mattress cover plus a blanket that uses precision temperature control to regulate your body's sleep cycles and give you the perfect sleep, which really, really matters. It can range all the way from 55 degrees to 110 degrees, meaning that you're covered no matter what. It's like electric blanket to the next level, but also a cooling blanket. So it makes you sleep better. Temperature has a massive effect on the way you sleep. By the way, it also detects snoring. And then it adjusts your bed position to reduce or completely stop it. So there are a lot of ladies in America who are going to be grateful for this product. Everybody who works here will tell you, because they all use it, that there's no better way to be alert, productive, and happy than by sleeping well. And 8 Sleep really does help. Visit 8sleep.com/Tucker. Use the code Tucker to get $350 off your Pod 5 Ultra. If you don't like it, you return it within a month. That won't happen. We think you'll love it, but you can if you want. 8sleep.com/Tucker.
Look, there's all kinds of agencies that are out there, and they have all these acronyms: ASPR, BARDA, DARPA. I couldn't begin to tell you what they stand for, but it's crazy how much it was a change in biological warfare when I think I want to say in the 70s, when chasing or biological warfare became a crime, and we said we were going to get rid of everything that we do, and all of these biological weapons and all of these things here that that we could use to kill people with clouds of kind of germs. Okay,
Lyme disease. AIDS. Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay. But when we actually passed a law. It's a federal law that says we're not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah. We signed the convention, I think.
Yes. But what happened is, just like the scientists from Operation Paperclip went to the tobacco industry, okay, and then from the tobacco industry to the food industry, the scientists that went from these biological weapons development programs went to essentially an umbrella organization that was used to combat biological warfare. So they used it under the auspices of, we are going to develop these things as an antidote or as a treatment for the potential bioweapons that somebody else is going to use.
We're going to keep our research going to defend ourselves against the Russian bio program.
Right.
And that's why we need all these biolabs in Ukraine, and shut up conspiracy theorists if you ask about them.
Right.
I will say, as someone who smoked for many years and also got Lyme disease, that I got a lot more out of smoking than I did out of Lyme disease. Okay. So those were like, I guess, 2 products of government programs, and one was a lot better than the other from my perspective. So, okay, I want a perspective on this. So that was my impression.
You said that came out this morning. I had not seen that.
Yeah, I know.
Everything up until this point was, Operation Warp Speed saved lives. Operation Warp Speed saved millions of lives. Is the best thing, the best thing that ever happened. I'm so proud of what we did, and and everything else. And like you said, he's been pushing, the Pfizer and Moderna CEOs and everything else, and what a great job they did and everything else. I'm really interested to see what numbers it is that they're showing them that they can't show the public.
We could fix all of this just by stripping them of their immunity. Do you have blanket immunity?
Oh my gosh.
In your job?
So I don't have blanket immunity.
Oh, you don't? I don't either, actually.
Right.
So I get sued or whatever.
Well, look.
So why do they have blanket immunity?
Well, one, vaccines have blanket immunity from the 1986 National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act.
Correct.
Okay. And then the PrEP Act in 2005. So the PrEP Act in 2005 further extended that when they declare a state of emergency, then there's no liability. So now everything done under EUA has no liability. And as a matter of fact, the law even says that our judicial branch can't even review that law. Oh. So how is that constitutional, and how has that not been challenged? We're talking 20 years here, where we had a legislative body in 2005 and signed by the president, George Bush at the time, that basically said that anything that's passed under emergency use authorization has no liability, and the judicial branch of our government can't review it.
So there are all of us U.S. citizens, the little worker bees who keep the thing going. Yeah. And then there are leaders. But then above even our leaders, above the Supreme Court of the United States, sits the vaccine industry. And they're like the gods. They're Zeus and Jupiter.
Right.
And there's literally nothing we can do to them. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.